Can't go live in this
Hey,
group.
Tom Stewart here, Smart Business Moves. I'm with Liz Trotter, and our guest today is Heather Canning in her closet,
Yay.
in her new closet.
Hey, Heather.
Hey.
How are you today, Heather?
Good. How you guys?
We're good. Good job, Tom. Tom's been having stress. He couldn't get us on today. And for y'all, you know, he does not like technical challenges. So
I'm okay with it, but we were just kind of a little tight on time because you know how important it is for me to start on time.
Yes, it is. Good job, Tom. And we really got off late yesterday. What was wrong with us yesterday?
Perry kind of got us off balance a little bit. When he gets on a roll, you just kind of have to go with it.
Yeah, the man can talk. Yeah, I really like Perry. He is kind of a cool guy.
A lot of
fun. Good having him on. Yeah.
A lot of fun.
So Heather, everybody was looking forward to talking with you today, though, and hearing what you had to say about Indeed. I told them just that one clue that you told us in the MMA group about no matter what you do, always post on the 1st. Even if you just posted on the 28th, you still got to post on the 1st. I was like, all right, that's good. Good to know.
I've actually started breaking it down that I'm posting like every 10 days.
Okay. Well, don't start talking yet. Let us go through the stuff because we don't have very many people on yet. It takes a while to get our because they know we're going to be late, right?
Yeah. Well,
although we've been really good.
Yeah, I mean, we were like right on the button, and then the technical difficulties. An unprecedented event. That's never happened. I mean, we've been late for a lot of reasons, but that's the first time we've been late because we couldn't get the platform to work.
Yeah, the first time it was actually a legitimate reason.
Yeah. So, Heather, thank you for joining us today. She's going to be sharing with us the best kept secrets of Indeed. So, kind of excited to hear about that because recruiting and finding quality people certainly is top of mind for most of us. And tomorrow, what are we doing tomorrow, Liz?
So tomorrow we have a secret guest, and I don't think any of you guys even know him. So I'm just going to tell you his first name, and then we'll see if anybody can even guess who he is. So what I told you was that he is a man, that he has never been on Smart Business Moves before, that he has owned a carpet cleaning company for quite a while. I'll tell you the name of that company too. Clearview is the name of his carpet cleaning. Is that right? Clearview? I think so. Carpet. And then I'm also going to tell you, and he bought his cleaning company just about a year ago now, maybe just a hair more, 13 months, something like that. And I'll tell you his first name. His first name is Mark. All right. So it's a generic enough name. You won't be able to find Clearview either, so good luck. I see Tom searching.
Is it in Olympia, Washington?
It might be.
Might be.
It might be, Tom. Good job. It was Clearview, huh?
Yeah. And give me another hint. Mark's a veteran.
Yeah, he is. He is a veteran.
But Mark doesn't have his full name on his website or his name at all.
So you still don't know who he is.
Yeah. So, well, be back tomorrow and
you'll find out all about it tomorrow. Yep. And yes, Linda, Heather is in her closet. Heather, tell us why you're in your closet.
I'm in the middle of moving, and I have 3 teenagers who are homeschooling and construction going on. So I'm in the closet.
It's your only safe space.
And it's kind of funny. You can have a really big house and still not, find yourself in the closet. I found myself, when I'm at home, it's like, we've got a lot of space here. How come we're all like in a 6 square foot area together? Let's spread out a little bit.
Give me some room. Yeah, that doesn't happen at my house. People know I can't handle it when people start getting too close. And
Well,
I don't know what it was.
I wanted to come to you guys from the beach, but it's raining, and I actually had happy hour plans, and they got canceled because of the rain. So
Oh,
we're in the closet instead. Next time we'll come from the beach.
Which is nice.
I was supposed to share something yesterday, and we had Perry. So when Perry's on, you just need to plan not to have a plan because things are just gonna go wherever they want to go. But ARCSI formally launched the e-learning platform. I know a number of you guys have already taken like the COVID course and the PHC course, but they've kind of spiffied up the skin here, the motif a little bit. They've got a learning library. They've got special benefits and material that's free if you're an ARCSI member, and you log in and can have access to that. They've already got it in the database where if you're an ARCSI member, you're already tagged as an ARCSI member. Have to admit, I haven't tested a lot of that myself, but I would encourage you guys to give it a shot and give us some feedback. I know in the ARCSI Facebook group, they've been chatting it up quite a bit. And, give it a look. You get 30% discount off of everything in the store for buying classes. If you're an ARCSI member, you can buy them in bulk and get bigger discounts, and then you can assign them to your cleaning professionals when the need arises. It's a pretty good setup, and I'm excited to be working with ARCSI on this project.
Anytime you can get and I know I'm not telling you guys anything that you don't already know, but anytime you can get training for your team members, that's just such a win. That really is the reason why I'm freaked out that there aren't more people that are registering for the convention. I mean, that is crazy. You can bring all of your team members to convention for zero money. I mean, in every other year, if you wanted to bring even one team member, you're looking at $1,000, right? So if you wanted to bring your whole leadership team, you could be looking at $5,000 to put them up in hotels, pay for the flights, feed them, pay for somebody else to do their jobs while they're gone in Vegas or Chicago or whatever. And now you can do it for free. Like, I don't even understand.
I really think that the real point in the message is being missed, because I've had the opportunity to sit here on some smart business moves where we've done a deep dive into what's being offered, and it sounds like it's got a tremendous value, and it sounds like it's a lot of fun too. It's different. It's not like everybody being together in Las Vegas or Chicago, but they're having happy hours, they're having round tables, they're doing a lot of stuff to kind of create that sense of sharing and socializing in a digital world. I'm kind of excited to see how that's gonna go. I think it's going to be really cool.
Me too. And I don't want anybody to hear this the wrong way, that I think only this one program is going to be good and that the other programs aren't going to be good, because that's not what I'm saying at all. But the program that Brandon Vaughn is putting on, that program is going to be amazing. That's going to be the program. Mark my words, at the end of convention, anybody that didn't go through that program is going to be kicking themselves. That's going to be the program that everybody is talking about. Next year, people are going to be talking about, did you take that Conqueror program? You didn't? Oh, bummer, dude. Because that program is going to be amazing. So we talked to them a little bit about ARCSI. We talked to ARCSI. We need to get some more information out to people about that, because I don't think people know that program is actually not a program. It's a workshop, and it is going to be amazing.
Is there a lineup already?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Heather, it's amazing.
Heather, you've been moving, so you've just been out of the loop. You don't know what you've missed.
It's true, she doesn't. She's missed a ton too.
Liz, for Heather's benefit, since she asked, let's walk her through what what we're going to be doing.
So seriously, there is a ton of stuff going on, Heather. There are live sessions, and then there's also going to be the recorded sessions. And the recorded sessions are just like on demand that you can get anytime you want. And they're going to be good until, you can access them through March 31st. So you have a ton of time to watch them too. Plus, again, you can show them to all of your employees for that whole time. So I think it's one cost. It's $199 to be able to put as many people as you want through the program.
That's
through all of, right? I mean, yeah. Okay. And then they have live programs too. And then Brandon's program is the one that I was talking about. He is doing a workshop, and I don't even know how long it is, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours. And everybody is going to, when they're done with that, they're going to have a 30-day plan or a 90-day plan. I can't remember, but you're going to have at least a 30-day plan of action that is guaranteed to grow your business something like 15%. I'm like, what? Everybody's going to be really kicking themselves if they don't take this workshop. Anyway, we are doing some fun stuff too. They're doing this thing in the morning where every morning they're having like a coffee club, coffee clutch, where everybody bring your coffee and we're all going to get together and kind of just like chit chat. It's going to be like, it's going to be like one of the MMA calls. That's exactly what it's going to be like. It totally is going to be like an MMA call. And so they're doing that. And then they're doing a, what's it called? Quarantini. They're calling it a quarantini, where everybody's supposed to bring their martinis, and they're having a nighttime. It's kind of in place of the Artsy Lounge. Mm-hmm. So everybody's bringing their martinis and like sort of networking. They're doing roundtables, just like you always do them. So have you ever done Zoom meetings where they break you out into groups?
Mm-mm.
All right. So that's a thing that you can do, and they're doing it in this group too. The roundtables will be their own. Everybody will come together. There'll be like 50 of us, and then they'll break you out in groups, roundtables with a topic that'll have 8 people at a table. And so then you'll all roundtable in there. So, and they all have topics, a leader, just like normal roundtables. I think it's going to be awesome. And then they have the show floor also. I don't know exactly how they're doing that. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they're doing that. Do you know how they're doing that, Tom?
I've seen that done before with other virtual conventions. And while people are speaking, you can actually, I don't know if they're doing it the exact same way, but my experience was while the speaker is presenting, you can kind of reduce them and be watching the speaker, and then on the same screen, go to vendor booths. And they've got like an explanation of what they offer, their value, proposition, if they've got any deals going on, and you can chat with representatives from that company while you're watching the presentation. So it's really an efficient use of time, because if you're really at a trade show, you're usually caught between a rock and a hard place. You can do one or the other, but you can't do both. But in this platform, I presume you can.
Yeah, it sounds like you can. That actually sounds cool. Another thing they're doing is all of the speakers get their own, like they had those little hubs that we had on the showroom floor, and not on the showroom floor, at convention, where you could take people in your private little room. Mm-hmm. So we all have our private little Zoom rooms that they're giving us too, so that we can meet with people and, have one-on-ones or have our own little group meetings. So they're doing a lot to make it fun.
I saw that with this event that I participated in, that if you've got you and your friends, if you're watching the same speaker, you can jump in a group with them and chat amongst yourselves while still watching the speaker. So you can have discussions, you can be talking about what it is that you're hearing as you're hearing it. Whereas if you're doing it live, it's rude if you're having a discussion with your friends while the speaker's speaking.
That's what I was just thinking. I'm like, I think I'd like that better, because a lot of times I want to talk about it, but you have to be really covert when you're whispering. I'm
Or
totally
text.
doing that.
So,
Yeah, texting.
but real quick, so Carrie Knight, she rocks. She's doing training with us and Castle Keepers, and she's
Totally
got a
rocks.
lot of game. Love Carrie. Liz, what do we need to say there? Liz always saves her best stuff for convention. She'll be bringing it. You're live. Our friend Don Finn, he's going to be back with us next week after next, maybe sometime in the near future.
Coming up. Yeah.
Don's an amazing guy. He rocks.
And he has a ton of excellent content too. It's not just that, he's a good speaker. He has excellent content too. I'm like furiously taking notes while he's talking. He's great.
He gives you stuff that you'll think about and use.
Yeah, he does.
So here's the whole schedule: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's 4 full days of content. It's all going to be recorded. So if you can't make it live, you can still do it. So
tell me why somebody wouldn't pay $200 for this. I just don't even understand. Do you know about it?
Well, I think that if you've never been before, some people don't see the value, don't know the value that they get with it.
But even so, just looking at the title of some of the different courses, knowing that you can put all of your people through those courses, like, I don't know. I just don't understand.
Well, I didn't want to hijack the whole.
I'm sorry. We do want to get to. Everybody wants to hear about the Indeed stuff. So yeah, and I'm really, Heather, I know you're right in the middle of moving. You tried to take this time
how
off.
are you doing? Like in the closet right now? You got enough air in there? You feeling okay?
I actually opened the door. That's why you can hear the construction going on. I'm good. I'm exhausted. I am too fat and old to do this. And we even hired movers. It's crazy. My body is so sore. It's worse than cleaning.
Oh wow.
Really?
That's bad. Yeah.
But you know what? I haven't been out in the field in a very long time. And I'm sure if I had to go out in the field right now, I would probably die.
Well, I was complimenting her because, you started moving 5 days ago. You're like in day 5 of your moving. Mm-hmm. And my day 5 of my moving, if I was like doing a live stream, you'd just be seeing a bunch of boxes around me. It takes me, whenever I move, it takes months before everything gets unpacked.
You know what? I actually paid an organizer to come to my house to talk me through getting rid of my crap because I thought I was doing good, and we all hold on to all of this stuff. This stuff makes us feel good, right? It like just warms our heart, and it's just stuff. And she talked me out of so much of it. So that's probably why we're doing so good on day 5.
So that's what an organizer does, huh? It's not so much about organizing. It's the whole psychological aspect of helping you understand that you got a lot of junk you shouldn't have.
It's totally therapy because I think that and I know this, like my name is One Organized Mom, right? Like I've done this for so many people, but I couldn't do it for myself. It's telling the story of whatever it is that you're holding on to and then being able to release it.
Liz and I, we've had that discussion in the past, and it goes beyond your closet. It's like your business kind of works the same way. A lot of times you've got stuff in your business that's not right, that if it was somebody else's business, I could fix it really quick. But if it's my own business, it's
it's totally true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's baggage.
And we don't want to get rid of the stuff that we're used to, and that, like that old worn sweatshirt, it's really comfy and I know exactly how it feels and it goes with everything, and I don't want to get rid of it. Yeah. The only thing I don't get rid of is books, and I drive everyone insane because I get rid of all of the other stuff and they get frustrated with me. My mother-in-law gave me all of my husband's baby clothes and I donated them to Goodwill.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you said that. I have 2 huge contractor bags, baby blankets, clothes. And I'm like, kids will never, ever want to put their clothes in it. But it's just, I can't let go of it.
I have no emotional attachment to anything. I'm like, every once in a while I'll find a good straw that I like. That's about it. My poor mother-in-law really wants me to take these silver utensils and use them for Halloween. They need to be silver dipped. And I was like, Yeah, Mom, don't give them to me. I promise I will donate them. But they were Tim's grandmother's. She brought them over from Germany. Then really don't give them to me because they'll be gone so fast. Anyway, Indeed. Let's talk about Indeed.
Whew, the pressure. I don't even know where to
Yes.
start.
Well,
I know a lot of people are having a hard time hiring right now. It's not a big struggle for us, but I think it's because we have a really good system in place. We have been searching to perfect our hiring for probably, geez, how long have I known you guys now? 3.5 years since I met you guys. We
is
have
that
been
all?
working on this process. Yeah.
What?
It'll be
It
4
seemed
years.
longer.
How is that possible, Heather? Are you sure?
Yeah, 4 years.
That's
Okay.
it?
Well, 3.5. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So it's not one thing, right? I mean, it's so many things that work in conjunction with each other. It's having the culture, it's, how you treat your people and showcasing that for everybody to see, to attract more talent. For us in our market, obviously everybody's always heard that in different markets, things work differently, right? So take all of that, with what I'm going to tell you, remember that. If I have a problem with Indeed, if I don't feel like it's working for me, I pick up the phone and call them, have a conversation. I know that if you guys ever go on Indeed, search up One Organized Mom, Jupiter, Florida, you can see my ads. We are able to run emojis. In other markets, people can't run emojis, but you know what? None of my competitors are doing that, so our ads stand out. We pay $500 a month on Indeed, which I know that probably just freaked a lot of people out because it's a lot of money, right? But that's in my ad, that's in my marketing budget. So once you're able to spend $500, it opens up new levels. Like if you guys are like gamers, like if you know how to get these extra points or you hit this extra thing that nobody knows about, it opens up new levels. It does that. You can put a header in there. You can put your logo on it. The biggest thing that I totally recommend, and Indeed may not like this, but you need to go on and you need to have an alias and you need to be able to see your competitors post on a regular. Okay. So my name is BB. Those are my initials. And BB actually used to work for me. So she has a cleaning history. So when any of my competitors post an ad, it goes right to my email and I can see what they're doing. Something also to think about, I don't post anonymously, like I post as One Organized Mom. So when my operations manager gave notice last year, or was it last year? Whenever it was, beginning of summer, I think, we posted her job, right? After she gave notice, everybody in my company saw it. They saw what she made. They saw everything because once they're all hired through Indeed, they see all the ads, no matter what position you're posting them through Indeed, it goes to all of your employees. So keep that in mind. She stayed with us. We ended up not hiring, but still, it kind of showcased around about like what she made. And that's not a good thing.
Yeah. Not great.
Everybody wanted to be making that same amount, and I guess
We should all be making $50 grand a year. Come on now.
Yeah, right.
That's only fair.
I think the other thing that I'd like to think that we do really well is like when we have a problem, we diagnose it and we correct it. Like we don't let it go untreated. Geez, Liz, what was one of the problems that we had in hiring? People not being able to do it, right? We all know this is very labor intensive. Mm-hmm. So then we were like, okay, we had one woman who worked for us for about 2 or 3 days. And after 2 or 3 days, she's like, I can't do this. This is too hard on my body. I said, well, what else could I have done to tell you like this is a labor job than what I have? She goes, well, you could have said, is there anything wrong with my knees? And I said, well, by law, I can't ask you that. So then we found a roundabout way and we really showcase it in our presentation to everybody. If you need to think about this, if you have a bad back, if you have a bad shoulder, if you have bad knees, this may not be the job for you. And we hit that 3 times during our 45-minute presentation. We don't have that problem anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point. You can explain that you're going to be having to bend over a lot, a lot of working, your major muscles, your joints. in the past, we've had people who've had certain ailments, such as, and kind of go down the list, and they've really struggled with
Knees, bad
this.
hips, yeah.
Yeah.
Pet
So
allergies.
right now we're focusing on stamina because not everybody has the stamina to be able to clean 8 hours a day, right? We all know that. So I don't want to waste my resources, money, time, energy on that. So now we're really driving in the whole stamina piece. And that starts at the Indeed. And one of my questions is rate your stamina from 1 to 5. So I use those customized questions. I have started in the last 30 days reposting the job every 7 days, 7 to 10 days, because it pushes me back up to the top. I know when I started using Indeed, I didn't have to pay anything. It was free. A lot of people have asked me, when did that stop? I think there's lots of different scenarios within Indeed that drives that. How many applicants you're pulling off your market. I think all of those factors come into play with how much money. But when you guys go to post your ad, it pops up and it says like $38 a day. That's a sticker shock for a lot of people. I mean, that's a lot of money for me. But you can change that. I think a lot of people think that because Indeed is saying this is what you have to do, you don't have to. You can just go in and change it.
Mm.
Yeah.
What can you change it to? Can you change it to $0 a day, or how do you decide?
I think it depends on the zero. I'm not able to do zero. I've tried because I'm cheap and I don't want to pay sometimes that $500. But you can drill it down to $5 or $10. It just depends, and you won't get a lot of traffic your way. But Indeed has also told me, and I've heard this through other avenues, that if you keep your applicants on Indeed platform, that they will send more applicants your way. A lot of people use Zapier, they use other third parties between Indeed, and that's taken them away from the platform. So if you're able to run them from resume to hire, that's what they want to keep it on that platform. So we don't spend any other money other than that $500 a month on our hiring.
Okay. So you actually have them fill out an application on Indeed?
So thank you for asking. That's such a great question. We actually make them jump through a lot of hoops. And I know that some people have asked me, does it scare the other people, or do I run off a lot of people who won't jump through it? I'm okay with that. So you have to submit your resume. You can do all of the you can choose your assessments. We do a phone assessment, which means they have to answer 3 questions on their cell phone or wherever. But I want to hear their tone. I want to hear the energy in their voice.
And this is through the Indeed platform.
Right. So as soon as they submit their resume, they get this kickback for them to do this. Okay. And I have all this very clearly spelt out in my job ad. Not only do they have to do that, but they have to go to our website. They have to go under careers, apply now, and fill out the application. Our application is very lengthy, and you must do it in 24 hours. Must do it.
And it's your understanding that the more you have your applicants engaged with the Indeed platform, it's like boosting your SEO. I guess it's IEO, Indeed,
Yeah. I mean, listen.
Indeed engine optimization.
Yeah.
We start at $12 an hour, right? I mean, these are $12 an hour employees. But I will tell you, since we've started implementing this, the type of employee has completely changed. I mean, we have an amazing staff of rock stars right now that have all come through this. So what happens is I actually man this. I spend, 5-10 minutes a day on it. Okay. I'm on vacation. I'll spend 5 minutes in the morning each day. So I run them through. If anybody knows the Indeed platform, it says waiting review, reviewed, contact, and rejected, I do believe. So they all sit in that waiting review bucket. I go in there and then I see if anybody submit their application. The ones that have submitted their application, I'll go ahead and push them through. But the other ones, I'll send them a little reminder like, oh my gosh, so great to hear from you. And I'm all positive and lovey. But don't forget, you have to go back and do these other items. Now, I'm not going to tell you in that reminder what to do because that's are you able to follow directions? If you're not able to follow directions, I don't want you in my company, right? So the people who do follow the directions, then they get pushed into a contacting column, and then they have to complete a Tony Robbins free disc assessment, and you have to email it back to me within 24 hours. And after that, you just exit out. And I have a nice little rejection note that goes out. Best wishes to you. If you want to reapply, make sure you follow directions. It's working. We don't have any issues. But when people do come on and we do hire them, I think we just hired 3 people in the last week. They're all doing great. I mean, we're making them jump through hoops, and I'm going to keep. Now, about a month and a half ago, we lost about 3 people, and we were a little nervous, and we talked about it, my team and I, and do we stop? We, maybe take away one of those hoops? We don't want to, because we've had such amazing people come through this process. We're just going to keep going strong.
Just going to do more of it. Well, we have a couple of questions on here, or I guess it's not. Yeah. Any ideas on this, Heather?
Well, I don't even understand why people are applying that don't even live in the state. I mean,
well, she didn't say the state.
She states that they must live here. Okay. So they're really out of the, okay. They're too far away to actually practically work, I guess.
We actually have people who drive an hour to get to work. And again, we start at $12 an hour. Again, you guys can go on and check out my ad. Everything is positive. I don't really talk about the dirty of the job. It's all about all the great things that you can get when you come work for me. I think that's really important, because that's bringing people to us. And then once we kind of get them on the hook, and reeling them in, and we do that presentation, then we're going to show them, the good, the bad, the ugly. I will say, through my 10 and a half years of having a business, people who live far away, it is a concern of mine, because they tend not to last very long. I want people to stay with us for a year or 2.
Yeah, we do have people that drive a ways, usually not more than like 40 minutes. Anything more than 40 minutes, and it gets harder to hold on to them.
Mm-hmm. I'm also going to tell you guys that we had to hire for a position. I can't remember what position it was, but it was for a position that I hadn't had to hire. A home quality control, like a field manager. You can search Indeed nationwide for all cleaning companies that are have a job listing for field managers. So when you have to get to that point and you don't know what to say, it's a great example to kind of put everything together.
Take one from somebody else.
So Leslie's making the point that the larger your budget, the more visibility you get. I'm sure that's true. You pay to play, right?
It's just like you said, Tom, with SEO, right? The people who are spending the money, they're going to be up at the top. Unfortunately, it's the way it works.
Paul's making a point that he hires from within. He's got a culture to do that. And you made the point earlier, Heather, which I think is really relevant, that it changes from market to market, location to location. There's some parts of the country that you can tap into a particular workforce and create a culture where you can kind of reload from within. And there's other parts of the country that it just doesn't work that way, that you have to go to the open, you have to go to the street and recruit hard.
We have a girl who, and it's weird, we've hired a ton of young people, and I'm talking 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds, and they are amazing, right? So their parents now want jobs. So we interviewed with one woman, and I didn't even think to ask her, but she wasn't here legally. We couldn't hire her. I was like, oh, no.
Oh, yeah. That's a bummer. Yeah. Oh, good. There's your ad, Heather. That's great. Leslie had asked to get a link to it. You want to walk us through what you got on here? Like, you have the monthly wage.
Yeah, I was like, a lot of money. Heck yeah.
It's $12 an hour, okay? So, and this is the reason why it looks like a lot of money. So some months you have 4 paychecks, because we do weekly. I guess it even works for biweekly. And sometimes there's 5 weeks. So that's the range in there. And I am so sorry. My screen is really small, so I can't read it, but I can pretty much tell you everything that's on it. So, again, we're having a little bit of problem with people not doing this step. So I literally just reworded it to really get people to read it, because every time somebody applies to you, that's when you're getting a a charge. If you actually go to your jobs board on Indeed, there's like 3 little dots over on the far right. If you click on it, I think it says like view results or something like that, and it'll give you reports. It's pretty awesome. I actually have called Indeed and they've sent me all my stats, and that's nothing that I can grasp from my own account, but they can send them to me. And that was really eye-opening too. When I saw it, I'm like, wait a minute, it's costing me, $3.85 every time somebody's submitting their resume. I need to make sure they're following those directions.
Looks like Linda's copying your approach of putting the monthly salary. Do you know Linda?
Yeah, I don't think that it works for everybody. And I know that my buddy Dan Smith, I think he was the one who has 2 ads. One's running hourly and one's running monthly to see what's going to get him more traction.
It's interesting because you mentioned this in your discussion, that you're selling the job. Be proud, to be part of a tribe, a cleaning tribe, paid time off, hearts. I mean, this is exciting. I want to work for you.
So if you go down at some point towards the bottom, it says like follow us on social media, and they do. And, I didn't tell you this, but we do a 45-minute presentation once a week. We do only group interviews, and it's done over Zoom, and we present to them. We're showing them, we're introducing us to the applicants, right? 45 minutes. We have a presentation, slideshow, all that fun stuff. What is so awesome about this, and my good friend Trisha Lake, I stole this idea from her. After that 45-minute presentation, they have to write me a letter why they want to come work for us. Because it's really, it's like, hey, pressure's on you. If you don't want a job, you don't want to continue, don't send me the letter. But if you want to continue, you want to get to the one-on-one, then we get to know you a little bit better, send me the letter. Some of the letters that we get are absolutely amazing.
So where is that? You say there's something here, follow you on social media?
Yeah, past the hearts, go down past the hearts. Something in one of those paragraphs up there. No, up further. You went down a little too far. Somewhere underneath the hearts there.
Submit your resume through Indeed. After you submit your resume, you will see a note from Indeed to complete a phone interview assessment.
No, it's above it. It's above it.
It's in that paragraph above.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please submit your resume. Amazing. Culture DNA. Check us out on social media. Okay.
But listen, everything in that ad is true. Like, I am not like smoke and mirrors it. This is who we are. This is my brand. This is my company. So, and I think that's the big piece here. You just can't take my words and copy them and think it's going to work for you, because once you get them in the door and you hire them, if that's not, your DNA, then it's not going to work.
No, but it doesn't appear at a glance that anybody's even trying. Everybody else is, you got to be reliable. You got to come to work on time. You got to be able to pick up 40 pounds, no physical disabilities. Will prevent you from bending, 35 pounds. I mean, everybody else miserable job. I mean, you're the only person that's selling it.
I'm really amazed that nobody else has picked it up. And I really don't like to use the urgent hiring. Listen, we may need to hire people like now, like today off the street, but I don't like to click that button, urgent hiring, because it makes me look desperate, and I never want to look desperate. Even though sometimes I will be, but I don't want to come off like that to my employees or potential employees or my clients.
What can you say about Leslie's comment? She's paying for impressions, and it's awful. Is that? I guess that's kind of the way it works when your $500 spend. Is that per impression or per?
I might be broken down into 2 different segments. I know I focus on the people that actually apply. Okay. And, some days, like my daily ad spend is, $38, right? But it's like, oh my gosh, today's gone by and it's $50. Like, how did that happen? Well, they say that, the weekends, it's not as busy. So over time, that's how it breaks it up. But Not too sure on that. I think it's like their crazy algorithm.
They're going to do
It's
everything
always
they can.
surprising. It's always surprising to me that they're not busier on the weekend. I mean, when people aren't working, like on the weekend, what are you doing? They're like, no, it's my time to relax. I'm not going to look for a job.
You know, maybe I kind of look at it like this. It's like, you know, if you're in a miserable job, you're going to go home at the end of the day or probably on the job and look for another job, right? Maybe people don't look for jobs on the weekend because it's their time. But that's another draw that we get a lot of people that have to work weekends and work nights, a lot of retail, CNA, and you know, we're Monday through Friday. We don't do weekends, we don't do nights, and that's a big draw for us.
Well, that's another thing, Heather. Do you post anywhere differently? Do you just post under general, under housekeeping? What do you post under?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I think general, because you know what I do? I just run the same ad. So I don't recreate it. You know, again, those three little buttons on the right-hand side of the job that you currently have or the one that you've closed out or paused, you can duplicate it, and I'll just duplicate it. And if I change any of the wording, I just edit the wording.
I don't know if this breadcrumb up here is any hint or not, but it goes from cleaning and ground maintenance to cleaning and sanitation occupations to personal housekeepers.
Well, maybe because you typed in house cleaning. I don't know.
Yeah.
We get a lot of people from janitorial positions, a lot of guys, a lot of people who, you know, clean for their aunt or their uncle, you know, for 3 days in their past life.
We get those people.
Yeah, people who think that they clean their house, you know, that they're able to clean professionally. And, you know, we get a lot of people that don't send us those letters back, and it's really okay. They weren't going to work out if they did, right?
Yeah.
So the 45-minute video that you're talking about, where do your candidates see that?
So it's actually, we do a group interview, which we do not call it a group interview because people get stressed out over that term, right? Because they think that they're all like fighting for one job. So we just call it an interview, and it's over Zoom, and we do it once a week, usually tomorrow at 9 o'clock, Thursdays at 9. Sometimes we'll do it twice, just depends if we need a lot of people. Thomasina's my ops manager, myself. So I spend 10 minutes talking about what I expect as the owner on more of a personal level, and then she spends 10 minutes talking about the actual job, and then we have a slideshow that we built with kind of just showcasing who we are, but a lot of before and after pictures and some really yucky places because I want them to see. And I actually learned this from Liz many years ago, I think when I first met you, about, you know, showing people the ugly side of the job because I don't want to sugarcoat it into something that it's not. And that scares some people off, and I'm okay with that. In the very beginning, we do say, you know, there's 2 reasons why you will not be qualified to work here. We are a drug-free company, and I explain to them what that means to work for a drug-free company. And we do double background checks, and if you have any theft or drug charges, it's a deal breaker. We just can't hire you. And sometimes people just drop off the call, and that's okay too. We don't take it personally. And then we have what we call the 5 C's. And that's where the letter comes into play. So it's like commitment, character, compassion, community. I don't remember what the 5th one is. But we use the 5 C's in hiring because then you write the letter. I know this is her spiel, not mine. Because then the letter is written around how you're going to bring the 5 C's to a job here.
This is awesome.
We've really worked very hard on building this process.
It's a great process.
You know, I know Paul made a comment about hiring within, and unfortunately our home quality controller just quit without notice last week. I was so freaked out. What am I going to do? Ran an ad. And one of the girls came to us who we didn't even know. Oh my gosh, her background, she owned her own house cleaning business for 10 years, totally forgot about, because we weren't looking for an upper position. She had 2 years of supervising in housekeeping in a hotel, and she wanted the position. We're like, score. Okay.
Yeah, that's working out to your advantage for sure.
Yep. Yep.
So Leslie's got a comment here. You don't want to pause and reopen. You need to do what Heather said and copy and post.
You don't have to copy it. Well, I guess you do. It's an automatic duplicate. Don't copy it and then open up a new job. It can just copy that same one.
There's a duplicate feature.
Yeah. So if you're on your job screen on the dashboard where you see your job, and I do believe it's 3 little dots all the way over to the right, click on that, and that gives you some options. That'll give you some reporting, and it'll let you duplicate your job.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? I will pause it every once in a while if we're inundated, and I'll just unpause it. But again, I don't run it for very long.
How long, Heather?
Well, I was doing it the first of the month. Like, I think we had that conversation.
Yeah.
And we've been playing with it now every 7 to 10 days. I'll stop it and restart it.
Oh yeah, you did say that actually.
Yeah. Even if we're not hiring, we will still run it, and I will just run it at a very low amount because I still want to be out there. Right. Through COVID, obviously we didn't run anything because we weren't hiring, and I didn't want to spend the money.
Marla wants to know about pre-recording your pitch so you don't have to do it over and over again.
Yep. Great question. It's not. We've thought about recording it, but I think engagement would be very low if we recorded it and had people watch it. I do, however, don't judge me because I do have a video on, if you go to our website, Apply Now, Careers, there's a little website, a little video on there, like introducing us to the applicants. It's not perfect, but I did it and it's up there.
Awesome.
But sometimes the not perfect thing is appealing to applicants. They're like, oh, I could work there. Those people don't look picky.
Well, they look real. They look human. It's not so polished that it's nobody wants to work in a perfect environment because
some people do, but they're not going to like working for me.
Right.
Okay. But your group interviews now, Heather, they're all on Zoom, I'm assuming, and you just play your video, though, your presentation. It's a PowerPoint, right?
Yeah. So, we just put it up on the screen, and most people are on their mobile devices, always in their car. It's kind of funny. So we just turn your phone sideways, then you can see these pictures better. We have a lot of people who actually engage through the presentation, and we just tell them, you don't have to engage if you don't want to, but we're just here to tell you about who we are. Yeah, I don't know. But before COVID, we did group interviews in the office once a week, and we could do a max of 5 because then we would do one-on-one. So if, again, pre-COVID, have 5 people come to the office, do the presentation up on the TV, it would take about a half an hour, and then we would do one-on-one. So if we had 5 people, we would spend 10 minutes. If I liked them, had them go back and sit and wait in the waiting room, and then I would pass them off to my ops manager. If I didn't like them, we would just say, okay, thanks for coming in. We'll be in touch. But that worked really well. So now, since we've changed it and now we're doing Zoom group interviews, once they send in that letter, then she will do a Zoom interview with them. And then if she likes them, then they come in and meet with me face to face. When in the beginning, we tried doing the Zoom interviews only. It didn't really work out well. For us, it didn't. It's hard to, I don't want to say judge people, kind of like to get a good vibe for them in a screen, in my opinion.
Marla wants to know, do you answer questions during this Zoom interview?
Absolutely.
So if it were recorded, you wouldn't have the ability to do that.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's 45 minutes for love of Pete. Are you going to sit there? Nobody wants to listen to a talking head that's just recorded, right? I mean, you're going to get distracted. The kids are going to come in. The dog's going to bark. You're going to put it down. And you're not going to finish it. This is scheduled time. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if we ever will be, though.
Paul wants to know how many employees you have, how many you're looking to hire.
I think we have 26 or 28. I think we're on a 3-week wait list. It totally stinks to turn people away. I think we're trying to hire about 3 more people. I got 2 cars that aren't being used every day, and that is costing me money. So I need to get people in those seats.
Yeah.
How much time is spent on a weekly basis with this interviewing process, hiring process?
Okay, so again, I do the Indeed. Okay, I spend 10 minutes, maybe 15 a day max. Okay, the group presentation is once a week, 45 minutes.
Okay.
And we do, I think we've had about 6 has been our max for Zoom calls, and about half of them will send in the letters.
Okay, that's more than I would have guessed.
Me too. Me too.
And you know what? If they don't send in the letters, then we just have, templates. Oh, God, I love templates. I don't know if you guys use templates in Indeed, but templates is the key to the whole entire thing. So you can build templates in messages. So that's how we communicate back and forth through those templates. So I'll just send a nice little template out. Thank you so much for attending the presentation. Sorry we didn't hear from you. Best wishes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we like to keep it light. I don't want anybody, whether it's a client or a potential hire or an employee, walking away from my company being hurt, because we all know that leads to a bad review, bad social media. I mean, I just want everybody to leave on a good note.
But Leslie has a question. I guess
You can't smell them on Zoom. That's so funny.
And that's a good thing sometimes. I'm with you there, Leslie.
Okay. I know this sounds really silly. It's your nails. One girl came in for her job interview, and it's like she had these nails. Well, you can't clean with 4-inch nails. I mean, we all
yes,
know
you
that.
can.
Right?
Oh, yes, you can. In the Charleston office, I would say at least half of the employees have those nails, right, Tom? Would you say at least half?
so some of our best cleaners who have just rabid, their customers love them. They generate tons of revenue. Their productivity is like 130% the standard, and they've got I don't know how, but they do.
In our experience here in my market, that doesn't work very well.
We have an employee here in Olympia that has ridiculous nails too, and she spends a lot of money on those things. The biggest problem is the gloves, finding gloves that they don't go through, and there are none that have fingers that are long enough, so her gloves only go to here, so
another really big thing for us, a deciding factor, is we are a pet-friendly company. And in our presentation is one whole slideshow, I think one, of all of our dogs. Like, we have 2 office dogs. So if you are allergic or if you have any fears to cats and dogs, we are not going to be a good fit for you. So Molly is our office dog. And, if somebody walks in the door and they're like, oh my God, it's a dog. Yeah, you know what? I'm not even going to waste your time. You're not going to be a good fit. Best of luck to you.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So is Molly on the payroll?
She should be, right? I mean, she's all over our social media.
I'm wondering if you could treat that as like a business expense, and like the dog food and the vet bills. And
you know what? My kids are on payroll, so I think we're just going to keep it at that.
Okay, but you might be able to write her vet bills and food and some other stuff off as business expenses. I would talk to my accountant about it, but explain how, you've got physical evidence that Molly creates value for your business.
It's a good point. You ran off quite a few applicants. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I'm sure we classify our cat food as an office expense.
An employee relations.
No, because she takes care of our mice.
Oh,
okay.
Extermination.
But you could.
No, she really does take care of our mice, and we have pictures. So I'm not lying. I'm pretty sure that we really do list her as an office expense.
Listen, when our girls come back from the field, or they come in the morning, they see the dog and the dog runs up to them. They care more about seeing the dog than they do me. I love it. You know?
Linda says that she's able to take some of the expenses associated with her cats. They're considered a mascot.
And especially if they're on your website, I could see that.
Yeah.
Let me just say this. I'm not an accountant, nor do I plan to ever say that I am. But I think it depends on sometimes the accountant advice that you get and how you run things does not always mean that that's in your best interest. Okay. I've used the same accountant for 7 or 8 years, switched over, and now my accountant is finding me $13,000 per year to amend my taxes because my accountant wasn't doing the best thing for me. So just keep an open mind. It's like a pediatrician, right? We all, when you had little kids, one pediatrician told you this, the other one told you that. It depended on, where they went to school. I think it depends if, they're conservative or how much are they going to want to push the envelope. So just keep an open mind. Think about things like that.
I would agree.
Yeah.
They give you different advice. It's bottom line. That's the truth.
Yep.
Everybody seems to have the cats and dogs thing going on. Yeah. That's a big thing there. Also, I do think it's really interesting that so many people have dogs named Molly. I didn't know that was
for me. First of all, put it out there. Tom stole the name from me.
I guess.
Somebody else on this call has a dog named Molly too.
Awesome.
I don't know. I can't remember who it is. If you're the one that has a dog named Molly, speak up. But somebody on here does. I'm like, it's interesting. Nice. All right. So any other really great things that we need to know about working with Indeed? Oh, also, you guys, if I'm not going to say that. Never mind. There was one thing about Indeed. I feel like that you told us recently. Oh, Daisy and Pickles. Oh, cute names.
Oh, Liz, focus.
I know. I'm sorry, but those names are very cute. You gotta admit.
Yes, we're at the top of the hour.
We are.
Go
on and create an account for yourself so you can take the assessment. You see what they go through because you cannot see the questions that Indeed asks you the assessment. You can only do it if you're an applicant.
Yeah. And I really love what you said. Oh, really? I like that name. Also what you said about seeing all the ads that your people are seeing, because your current employees are seeing the new ads that your competition is putting out there. So if your competing cleaning companies are starting to switch their ad up to sound better than yours, you need to know that.
Yep.
Bye, Paul.
Yeah, that was good advice. You got to secret squirrel your competition. Know what you're competing with. I forgot to drop the URL in for the Artsy Learning platform, but do yourself a favor and just check it out, just to see what they've got. If you're an Artsy member, log in and look at some of the free goodies that are in there for you. Tomorrow is on the spot. We're going to have a secret guest. His first name is Mark, and he cleans carpet, and we'll all get to meet him tomorrow.
Cleans houses in Olympia. You guys know that part now, too. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much, Heather. Good luck. Relax. Do some hot stone massage there.